We will be starting the topic today. So in the last class, I have told you that there are 4 modules, module A, B, C and D. And the sequence I will be taking in the classes will be C, D, then A and B. This is the sequence we will be following in the particular batch of yours. Now, if I talk about the PPB, Principles and Practices of Banking, it has a huge syllabus. The module A and B, the single module of A, it covers 21 units. Okay, so it have a lot of syllabus. 41 units are there in the module A and B. From 42 to 55 we have in the C and D module. So C and D will be covered within 1 month and let's say 15 to 20 more days. And A and B will take 2 to 3 months to be covered. So that's why we will be covering first the C and D. Now, in the PPB paper, when we have done the analysis of feedback we have taken from the bankers, we have seen in the different what we can call in the different slots of your paper, the different level of question have been asked. So in the third slot, as I have told you yesterday as well, in the last slot and the third slot, they have asked maximum question from the module number C. So module C is actually what kind of module in which the technology we have to study. Like what are the technical support bank is having, how bank is running, how the computerization have affected the banking system. All these things or the terminologies related to the technology, we are going to cover this in this particular unit. So it will be a little bit a kind of unit which you will find out it's totally about technical paper we're talking about, but yes, it's very easy to understand. So with the conceptual understanding, we will be covering this. Now, if I'm talking about this particular unit, so you can see this is the module number C, unit number 42 of yours, and the name of the unit is Essentials of Banks Computerization. Like what is the essentials of the bank's computerization that we are going to discuss. Acha, let me know, is it beneficial as a consumer or let's say as a service provider for all of you that we have got computerization in the banking sector? So in a general opinion, if we talk about having a computerization, having or introducing the computerization, introducing the all kind of such technology in the banking system, is it good for the consumers as well as for the service provider? Yes or no? Just answer yes or no. Okay, everybody is saying yes. And it has a lot of benefits, but somehow it has disadvantages as well. More advantages, less disadvantage, but yes, it has a disadvantage. You have a disadvantage of cybercrime. Although we provide cyber security, if you have heard about Rabbit and IFTAS, have you heard about these two? Rabbit and IFTAS. Let me know, have you heard about Rabbit and IFTAS? Okay, no. Sure. So if I'm talking about Rabbit and IFTAS, what are they? They are simply, one second. So Rabbit and IFTAS are what? They are the subsidiaries of Reserve Bank of India. So we all know RBI, na? We all know about Reserve Bank of India. What is RBI? We all know that. So if we talk about RBI have a certain subsidiaries here. All those subsidiaries are helping out RBI to make it possible in India to have a proper, one second. One second, just give me a minute. Okay, so if we talk about in the country, we are talking about RBI. So what RBI is doing, RBI having a certain subsidiaries. It have a 5 subsidiaries. Subsidiaries means the helping company. Subsidiaries of RBI, if we talk about, we have DICGC. I know DICGC, you all have heard about it. Then we have BRB and MPL. This is also, I guess, you all know about it. Then we have Rabbit. Then we have IFTAS. And the latest one we have Reserve Bank Innovation Hub. So these are the subsidiaries of RBI. Subsidiaries means the helping company of RBI. They somehow helping RBI in a certain function of a regulatory body. Like in the DICC provide insurance on the public deposit to the bank, so that if in case of winding up of a bank and any kind of bankruptcy or anything, insolvency if the bank is facing, so customer do not have to face the whole loss. So that's why DICC provide the insurance on the public deposit. What is the limit of insurance in the DICC? Let me know. The limit have been revised by RBI. So what is the limit? Let me know. Now the second, BRB and MPL. Bharatiya Reserve Bank Note Mudran Private Limited. It prints currency note on the order of RBI. Then we have Rabbit, Reserve Bank Information Technology. It helps out RBI as well as Indian banking system in the cyber security. So it provides the cyber security to the RBI as well as the Indian banking system. IFTAS is there. IFTAS is making it possible for the bankers, for the employees of the bank and for the whole banking industry to work smoothly. And if they have any idea or initiative, they can tell to the IFTAS and IFTAS will provide certain platforms to them. Infinet, if you talk about SSS, FHS, if you have heard about, all these are the services that have been provided by IFTAS to make the technology easy for all of you. Now, Reserve Bank Innovation Hub is, what is Reserve Bank Innovation Hub? Reserve Bank Innovation Hub is a kind of subsidiary which was created just to have ideas like what should be done, what innovation can be done. Like RBI and the central board of RBI do not have that much time. They will be deciding what new should be done, what innovative should be done. So particular subsidiary have been created and they have a single one task. You have to find out where the innovations can be done. And that's what we're talking about, RBIH. Okay. So now these are the 5 subsidiaries of RBI. Out of these 2, they are helping the Indian banking system as well as RBI in what? In providing the technical support, in having the better technical platforms or advancement, etc. Clear? The amount of DICC is 5 lakh that have been changed by RBI. It used to be 1 lakh. It have been revised up to 5 lakh. So these are the subsidiaries of RBI. So that's what we're talking about here when we talk about the bank computerization. It is helpful. It is helpful for the consumer. It is helpful as well as for the service provider. But it have a certain disadvantage. And that disadvantage is cybercrime, cyber insecurity we have. Because whatever different types of platform we are introducing, more and more technology is coming. More and more ways of using your account, transferring funds from your account, having any such kind of transaction. Whatever new technology we are introducing, with the technology, we are also introducing a certain types of risk. And to stop those risks so that it will not harm the consumers of the banking sector, we have to create a certain kind of institutions which are looking for all these activities of cybercrime and etc. So it have a benefits as well as the disadvantages, but more benefits are there comparative to the disadvantages. Now, so this is the module number C, the banking technology. Unit number 42, we are going to talk about essential of bank computerization. Clear? So let's start. So first of all, I am talking about introduction. So in the introduction, before the year 1983, most of the banks had taken a passive view concerning computerizing their operations. It was only after 1983 and the first report by Mr. Rangarajan Committee, by Mr. Rangarajan given in the Rangarajan Committee, that BRICS activities were taken to bring quick technological changes in the computers and the communications. So what he said, now one more important thing, a lot of committees will be there. Not a lot of, around 15 to 20 committees are there in your syllabus. That is important. We have to remember. So do not worry about it. I will be providing you an individual document as well for your committees, what committees related to which particular sector. Hana, do not worry about it. But yes, whenever you find out the committee, do write immediately what it relates to. Okay. Sorry. So before 1983, the banks, most of the banks, Hana, they have taken a passive view, Hana, about what? Computerizing their operation. So they were not that much happy. They were not that much known to the computerization as well. So only after 1983 and the first report of Rangarajan Committee when it came, this brisk activities, Hana, were taken to what? To bring quick technology changes in computers and communication. So after this report, after 1983, we have seen like brick and mortar, or I can say the physical branches used to be there, still they are there. But in the earlier days, we only used to have the physical branches where the customer have to go to the branch, they have to stand in the queue and they have to take the services accordingly. It used to take a lot of time, and a convenience was not there. People have to wait a lot of time to perform their transactions. Apart from that, the proper transportation was not used to be there, and the bank used to be not available easily in each and every locality that is right now available. But at that time, we used to have one particular bank in a one particular district, let's say, for example, such kind of things were there. So it was not easy to do that. So we have introduced these changes in the banking system, in the computers and communications. We have started doing with the help of quick technology, and that was the computerization. Now next, the wind of liberalization sweeping through India affected all the sectors of the economy, and the center of all these activities was the Indian banking industry. If we talk about any economy, whether it is Indian economy, or economy of USA or China or Russia, doesn't matter. The base of the economy is banking sector. The base of the economy is you guys. If you are not performing your tasks properly or very well, it is definitely going to impact the banking. Not only the banking, the economy. If we talk about single one or two frauds in the banking sector, Nirav Modi fraud or Vijay Mallya default. So we can see how a single fraud or a single default affects the economy. When a particular bank have this kind of issue, they have started taking the funds with the other customers of their bank by making a minimum deposit limit a little bit higher that not used to be there in the earlier days. So now this is what we're talking about. The banking system is the base of the economy. And if we are talking about the banking sector, all the sectors have been affected with the liberalization. Now, first, what is liberalization? Let's discuss that. So, what happened? In 1991, LPG was introduced. What was LPG? Liberalization, privatization, and globalization. These are the three major changes in the economy that happened in the year 1991. Liberalization, privatization, globalization. Liberalization means to remove rules and regulations. We have removed a lot of rules and regulation, or we have eased the rules and regulation. That was the liberalization. If I'm talking about privatization, privatization means transferring ownership. Transferring ownership to private sector. To private sector. It means now the private sector is also allowed to work in the country. That was the privatization. Globalization means to link economy with world economies. So we have linked the Indian economy with the world economies. This is the globalization. So because of the privatization, the Indian economy became mixed economy. Indian economy became mixed economy because the government and private sector, they both are working in the country since 1991 together. Now, because of the globalization, the Indian economy became open economy because we are allowed to do the exports and imports. There is no restriction on the exports and imports by the government. So that's why Indian economy became open economy in the year 1991. So what is liberalization? Liberalization means removing rules and regulations, providing a less restrictions on the people who want to start business or who are already in the business or who are taking services from a certain kind of market or certain kind of institution. So you not have a lot of regulation. License, permit and quota raj was removed. So because of the liberalization, the license, permit and quota raj, it became the thing of a past, like it used to happen in the India. Hana, it used to happen in our country that we used to have a license raj, permit raj, quota raj, but it have been removed. So you are making easy to start a business. You are making it easy to run a business, to start a business or to have a business in the country. That's the liberalization. So when restrictions have been removed, a lot of people wanted to invest in the country. A lot of foreign capital came in the country. MNCs was ready to invest in the country. So all these have been seen. So all the sectors were affected. Acha, LPG is clear. Let me know. Till now, whatever I have discussed, is it clear? Bilingual batch already started, Manvendra sir. The bilingual classes are from 7 to 8 p.m. Okay, sure. So now this was the liberalization. All the rules, regulations have been removed or have been made easy. So that's why it affected all the sectors. So does it affected the Indian banking sector as well. Now the fundings are coming more and etc. So then Indian banking industry leveraged technology to improve the customer service, the bookkeeping, the management information system reporting, the transforming conventional banking to the convenience banking now. So after seeing this, after seeing a lot of changes, a lot of businesses came to India, a lot of people started investing in the banking sector, started depositing their money, started having the banking platform to perform their transaction. They started involving banks in their trading system as well. So after seeing all these things, after have seen all these things, what we have found out here, we have found out like we need a more way to deal with these things, and that there will be always be a human error. If you are having a certain employees, the person, if you have a technology, the one person can perform the work of other 5 persons as well. So now this is how the Indian banking industry accepted the computerization after seeing the changes in the economy. So next is banks in India have since embraced automation through the computerization supported by policies from the regulators. So whenever a new policy, a new regulation or something new we are introducing, new norms, new rules, whatever we are taking, that will be given by the regulator. So computerization that was supported by the policies that have been given by the regulators. Okay, so the regulators of the banking sector, which is right now RBI, have announced or have given approval to introducing the computerization in the banking, to transferring data from physical to the dematerialized form that have been allowed by the policies of RBI. And that's how we have done the adoption of digital technology. And when we have adopted the digital technology, it helped banks to build the core banking solution or a core banking system. Now you have a proper core banking solution. What is core banking solution? Core banking solution simply means that you have a centralized system, centralized server, and it is linking each and every branch of your bank all over the country. Now, earlier, what you used to have, what we have to do as a consumer of the banking sector, if I want to deposit money, if I want to withdraw money, if I want to have a demand draft or whatever, let's say I went to the bank to have a demand draft. When I went to the bank, am I asking a branch, the person who is assigned there, a PO or clerk, whatever the person has been assigned on that particular day. So I went to there, I have given the cash to the person, I'm asking, I want a DD of this amount. Now they used to say, for this particular service, you have to visit your home branch because the branches were not connected at that time. Hana? So you have to, there are certain services which if you want to have from the banking sector, you have to go to your home branch only. So in earlier days, it used to possible because everybody used to live, not everybody, but yes, maximum population used to live in their hometown only. But right now, it is not possible. If I am living in Gurugram and my hometown is in Rajasthan, so it's not possible for me to regular basis on a particular single transaction or a very small things, I have to visit my home branch there. It's not possible. So that's why a lot of things have been made very easy with the help of adoption of the digital technology. You are getting alternate delivery channels. Earlier, if I want to withdraw the money, I have to go to the bank. I have to write down that withdrawal form. I have to stand in the queue. Now, whenever I will got my number, my money will be withdrawn. But for that, I have to somehow take a leave from my job because I know there will be a crowd in a bank. There might be a crowd in the bank, so I have to take a half day or whatever for the banking transaction, for performing any banking services. But now I have an ATM service. If I want to withdraw money, I do not have to visit the bank branch. I can directly go to the ATM and withdraw money from there. Let's say I want to deposit the money. I do not have to fill the deposit form and stand in the queue. I can simply go to the cash deposit machine. I will deposit my money there. If I want to give money to someone, let's say I want to pay my rent for this particular month to my landlord. I do not have to withdraw the cash from the bank and went to the person's house and have to give him the cash. No, I simply can transfer the fund from my account to that person's account. Now it becomes very easy with the help of UPI as well. So these are the things which made banking very easy. But also, these are the things which have made a lot of risk for the consumers as well as for the service provider. It means the banks, right? So this is what we're talking about. You have alternate delivery channels here. Hai na? Acha, if I'm talking about, let's say, there are a lot of types of banking. So if I'm talking about a banking, I want to ask a certain question from all of you. But before that, answer me, what is banking? What is the definition of banking? Let me know. What is the definition of banking? Deposit and lending of money, accepting deposit for lending, accept deposit and lending, collecting deposit and lending. Okay. So the banking definition is simply accepting deposit from public. Acha, in which particular act it have been defined? The definition of banking have been given in which act? Let me know. Act and section as well. Accepting deposit from public for the purpose of for the purpose of your lending or investment. So you have to accept money from whom? You have to accept money from public. For the which purpose? For the purpose of lending or investment. And you have to give the facility of withdrawal with the help of proper instruments. It can be DD, it can be check, etc. with the help of these documents, you have to provide the withdrawal facility also. So this is actually the definition of banking, sorry. If you are saying that bank is accepting deposit should be accepted by public only. It's not like you are taking money from your investors. If a bank have issued its shares, bank have issued its share in the market, and the people are purchasing the shares and they are giving money to the bank, that's not a banking. You have to accept deposit. You have to accept money in the form of deposit from the public. And that deposit should be utilized for the lending to the other person or for the investment purpose. Okay. And it should be available for the withdrawal also. Whenever I want to withdraw my money, it should be allowed to me. This is what the banking is. Very good. The definition is this. And the act you guys are saying that is also true. Banking Regulation Act 1949 section 5B talks about your banking. Very good. So now when we talk about this is the banking, now the question I want to ask all of you, let's say I am not visiting bank branch. I am not visiting bank branch for carrying out banking transactions. So what kind of banking is this? So banking means simply accepting deposit from the public for the purpose of lending or investment, and it should be withdrawable with the certain documents, with a certain instrument. Now there are a lot of types of banking. This is a banking definition is this much. Two or three lines I have given you, points I have given you, that's the banking definition. But banks are performing more than that. Banks are giving you services more than that. Banks are providing you government securities. Banks are providing you shared transaction, mutual fund transaction, demat account you can have the mutual fund, you can have the insurance, you can have the pension, you can have social welfare scheme, a lot of other services banks are providing. That is also defined under the Banking Regulation Act 1949 section 6, like what other businesses bank can perform. All the list of other businesses have been given there. So according to those businesses, according to the type of services bank is providing, we have a different types of banking. So if I am performing this transaction, what type of banking is it? What type of banking it is? Let me know. Unable to hear your voice. Am I audible? Let me know. Is audio, video both are okay? If nothing is there, no issue is there, do write all okay. Audible, okay. So you guys are saying digital banking. What about rest? No. Digital banking is one of the example of this type of banking. Digital banking, online banking is the example of this type of banking. ATM is also an example of this type of banking. It is actually what? Virtual banking. When you do not have to visit a bank branch, but still you are able to perform the banking transaction, carrying out the banking transaction. So that's a virtual banking. In the virtual banking, we have a type. Digital banking is one type. Online banking is one type. Mobile banking is also there. Acha, mobile banking and digital banking both are same or different? Mobile banking. These are the examples of virtual banking. Let me know. Mobile and internet both are same or not? Different. Digital banking, online banking, internet banking, they are same. Mobile banking is different. In mobile banking, you do not have to have an internet facility. But for digital online internet, you have to have an internet facility. That's the difference. Okay, so this is what I was trying to ask you all. Chalo, let's continue. So we're talking about the different alternate delivery channels we have got. Various electronic payment systems are there, pave the way for the growth and spread of the banking system. We have a lot of electronic payment system. You can use to transfer fund NEFT, RTGS, IMPS, UPI. A lot of ways are there, to perform any kind of payment services, to perform any kind of payment transaction. Acha, in the country, who regulates the payment system of our country? Who regulates the payment system of India? Let me know. Who regulates the payment system in India? So in the classes, you have to focus on only understanding the concept and clearing your doubts. Do not try to write the content here or etc. Because everything what I am writing here, it will be available for all of you in your PDF. So yes, this is what I wanted. I wanted you to answer NPCI. No, this is not an answer. Right answer is RBI. Under the Payment Settlement System Act 2007, section number 4 says that only RBI has the authority to perform as a payment settlement system in the country, or only RBI has the authority to perform the payment settlement in the country. Okay, until and unless RBI authorizes the other institution. So NPCI is not a regulator. NPCI is an umbrella body. NPCI is an umbrella institution which manage all the retail payment system. Which manage all the retail payments in the country, but RBI has authorized NPCI to do so. Otherwise, under the Payment Settlement System Act 2007, section number 4, it has been very much defined that only RBI has the authority to participate in the payment system of the country or to regulate the payment system of the country until and unless RBI authorize the other authority. If RBI do so, then they can participate, they can work in the payment settlement system of the country, otherwise no. Okay, so RBI have authorized the NPCI. So NPCI is not a regulatory body. Regulator will be RBI only. Okay, now bank computerization. The concept of bank computerization practically started during 1980-81. In the year 1983, a committee was set up under the chairmanship of the Deputy Governor, former Deputy Governor of RBI, that is Mr. Dr. C. Rangarajan, to study the possibilities and stages which are involved in the bank computerization and prepare the guidelines for the same. So simply, when we have said after 1983 that yes, India is ready because of the liberalization or a lot of things have been changed. So India, after liberalization, India adopted a lot, comparatively, a lot easily the computerization, but still, since the 1983, we started talking about the bank computerization because the Rangarajan Committee have given its report. And this committee was created in which the chairman was RBI's former Deputy Governor, Dr. C. Rangarajan. He was the chairman of the committee. So, the report submitted by the committee in the year 1984 was known as the first Rangarajan Committee report on bank mechanization. A lot of report Rangarajan Committee have given. Rangarajan Committee have given a lot of reports here, not only in the banking sector, but for the economic growth, for the economic development, for the poverty. The Rangarajan Committee have worked in a lot of sectors. So, it was the first Rangarajan Committee report on the bank mechanization. Now, subsequent to that, computerization in banks, it gained momentum in the year 1983-84, and another committee was constituted in the year 1988 under the chairmanship of Dr. C. Rangarajan to draw up a prospective plan on what? On computerization of banks for a 5-year period, 1990 to 1994. So, if you study the government schemes, so certain schemes are there which have been introduced on a pilot basis. Now, what is pilot basis? The pilot word you have also heard in the web series and all. In the web series, the pilot episode, they introduce certain first episode. So what the pilot scheme or pilot episode. What does it mean? It means on a trial basis. You are not implementing in the whole country. You're not implementing for always, for forever duration. You are implementing or you are introducing the certain scheme in the certain areas of the country for a certain particular period of time. And you will, after that, you will take a feedback. You will do the analysis. If that particular implementation have resulted in a something good, then you can apply that on all over the country, all over the areas, all over the people, whatever you want, according to your policy or scheme. So that's what we have done. The Dr. C. Rangarajan Committee, it have given the drop prospective plan. Prospective means it have given its own perspective. Yeah, correct. Trial basis. On the trial basis, you implement the pilot scheme or something. Now, computerization of banks for a 5-year period. From 1990 to 1994, it has been said that for 5-year period, we will implement it. If we will get a right results or a good results, we will be continuing the computerization of bank. No video. Is everything okay? Let me know. Ganesh sir, you have raised your hand. If you have any doubt, do let me know. What is your doubt? Okay, next. Now, okay, sure. Next, we have what was the need for computerization. What was the need for computerization? There are 4 major objectives of bank computerization are to improve customer service, housekeeping, decision making, productivity and profitability. So this is what we're talking about. Like the 4 major objectives of bank computerization were to improve what? The customer services. So when a lot of people became the customer of a bank, so it became very hard to have a one-to-one interaction with the customer. Right now, banks try to have a one-to-one relationship with the customer by having a relationship manager in their bank. So they assign the relationship manager in the application. If you see, you will find the number of your relationship manager in the application of a bank as well. You can call them, ask them your query, whatever your query have. If you do not want to visit the bank branch, you can contact them over the phone also. So when the customer base have been increased, it became very tough to have one-to-one interaction. So it became very tough to resolve the issues that the customers are facing. And since the customer is the king of the market, or I can say after the consumer-oriented market started. Earlier, it used to be the seller-oriented market. At the time of money lenders, when they used to be there, they used to have a seller-oriented market in the banking sector because the people do not used to have any choice. So they have to go to the sahukar, they have to go to the money lenders, and whatever interest they ask, whatever collateral they ask for whatever duration, you have to accept that because you do not have to have option in that time. But once it used to be it's kind of a seller oriented market, where the money lenders were the king of the market. Whatever they want, accordingly they will provide the finance. But now, after a while, we have seen the seller oriented market have been transferred to the customer oriented market. Now we are the king of the market. And when the customer is a king of the market, you have to have a customer satisfaction. And the customer satisfaction is not only providing what customer wants, but also you have to work on after sales services as well. So customer wanted a deposit account, savings account. You have opened the savings account of a customer, but that's not sufficient. If in having a savings account, if at the time of having a savings account, if customer is facing any kind of problem, let's say interest is not deposited regularly, customer wanted to withdraw the money, was not able to withdraw the money, a certain kind of penalty have been charged on account, so you are not providing the reason why this penalty have been charged. If these kind of problems customer is facing and you are not resolving it, the customer will not come again to your bank. It will find the other option because now a lot of options are available in the market. So customer is the king now, so you have to make the customer happy. And that's why we needed to serve the customer. Now it's not possible to have a one-to-one relation, so we have to find a certain kind of way in which we will be able to resolve that. And that's the technology which we have adopted. The housekeeping issues, the decision-making issue. Now, if I talk about MIS, we have studied the MIS reporting here, Management Information System. So this MIS is doing what? It collects the data from the internal source and external source. It processes the data and try and convert that data into a useful information. And that useful information will be given to the certain user. And that user will take a proper decision accordingly. So this is what MIS is doing. So decision making was also important. When you have a big customer base, you have to analyze a lot of things. You have created a strategy, you have implemented the strategy, but now after implementing, you have to control the strategy. You have to do evaluation of the strategy. After that, whatever analysis, whatever evaluation you have got, accordingly, you have to do what? You have to perform the transactions, or if there is a certain correction required, you have to take the corrective actions also. So the decision making is also important. Now the productivity and profitability. Obviously, for the productivity of the banking sector, to earn the more and more profit, we have introduced the computerization. Now, at the regional and head office level, the purpose of computerization is to store, analyze, retrieve data received from the branches, generate information speedily. This helps in strengthening the internal control over branches and policy formulation. So earlier, lot of fraud used to happen in a bank. Hana? A lot of fraud used to happen. Let's say, if I'm asking about what is NPA, now let me know what is NPA and what is KYC. Let me know what is NPA and what is KYC. Then we will discuss like why at the head office or at the regional offices we needed this. So first let me know what is NPA and KYC. I think everybody knows these two terms. Non-performing asset, know your customer. These are the full form. What actually they are, na? So full form is right. The asset which is default for more than 90 days. Okay. And the KYC is? So NPA, non-performing asset, if I am talking about, that is a credit facility. NPA is what? NPA is a credit facility, right? On which, so NPA is a credit facility provided by bank to the customer on which the customer is not repaying the principal and interest amount for a particular period of time. And that particular period of time in the maximum cases will be 90 days. In agriculture sector or in agriculture loan, it will be 2 harvest season. Correct? That we have discussed already. Sorry, that's what the NPA is. Now, what is KYC? Know your customer. Know your customer is a process that each and every financial institution have to compile with to know their customer. Hana? Like when you are building a legal relationship with any person, let's say I came to your bank and I want to open a bank account. So before starting a legal banker-customer relationship with me, you have to find out who I am. So to know about your customer, you have to have a KYC process in which the certain details of the customer will be asked by the bank with the legal proof of that information. That's the KYC. Hana? So that is the KYC process to identify, to know your customer. Hana? Simply to KYC is know your customer. You have to know your customer before you start any relationship. So earlier what used to happen, there was no KYC. So there was no internet banking. Banks were not linked to each other. So let's say I have taken a loan from a X bank. I have taken a loan from the X bank of, let's say, amount of 1 lakh. Now, I have not repaid this loan to the bank. The duration of loan have been expired. I have not repaid this loan. So, if I will be asking again the loan from the same bank, it will not provide me the loan. So, what I have done, I went to the, it have not given the loan. I went to the Y. I have taken the 1 lakh loan from the Y bank. So, it's very obvious. Now, the Y bank the Y bank do not know that I have already defaulted with the X bank because they were not related. There was no such kind of service you can inform. So it's not possible for the X bank. It will go to each and every branch of other banks or its own bank's branch to tell that do not give loan to Amanjot because she is a defaulter. They do not have that option. You can't go door to door to the banks and telling them this is a defaulter. And at that time, paperwork used to happen, but it used to take a lot of time. So the people used to have a lot of fraud. That's why KYC have been introduced to control the NPA, to control the risk on the banking system. Hana? So now, with the help of KYC, all the data are stored in electronic form. So let's say I have opened the account in the X bank. X bank will take KYC from me. Okay, and the KYC will be transferred to the RBI, that this is the new customer of our bank. If I taken the loan from the X bank, it will inform the RBI. If I have repaid the loan, it will inform the RBI. If I have not repaid the loan, it will give the report to the RBI, this customer is the defaulter. Now, if I go to the bank Y and I give the KYC to the bank Y, because bank Y, before creating a legal relationship, bank Y will ask for the KYC. And if I am giving KYC to the bank Y, it's very obvious the bank Y will cross-check that with the RBI, Hana, because it is what the KYC do, Hana, and it will see that the same KYC customer had defaulted with the X bank. It will reject my application to open my savings account. And that's where the computerization in the banking sector helps us more. Okay, so that's what we are talking about here. At the regional level, at the head office level, the computerization help you to store, to analyze, to retrieve the data, Hana, and to have an internal control over the branches as well. Now, if you remember, or if you have heard somewhere, LEI number. What is LEI? I guess everybody have heard about this. What is LEI? Sorry. What is LEI? If you do not know if you do not do any answer, just write don't know, so that we will continue the session. A lot of things are there to cover, Hana. We do not have time to waste. Very good. Ganesh sir have given the right answer. Legal entity identifier. It is what? Legal entity identifier. It is of 20-digit code. It is issued by the banking sector to the corporates who are taking a loan from the banks, a certain level of loans. Now, before Nirav Modi case, I hope everybody knows about the Nirav Modi case. So after the Nirav Modi case, it have become mandatory by RBI. Like if you are giving a loan more than 50 lakh Hana, to the particular corporate, you have to issue the legal entity identifier number. That legal entity identifier number, 20-digit number, will be given to the RBI, and RBI itself will evaluate, will monitor the loan transaction between a bank and a customer. Like how much loan bank have given, out of that regular installments are coming or not. Apart from that, it will also check like whatever installment are coming, how much loan have been repaid, what is the duration have been taken by the customer. All these things will be analyzed by RBI itself, so that such kind of case, such kind of fraud will not be there in the bank. And that's how we control the branches of a bank as well. We means RBI control, the head office control, the regional offices controls their branches, because it's not possible even for the regional office to know each and everything what is going on in the branches of in the regional branches, because you are not daily visiting. Your regional officer, your zonal officer do not know. They are not daily visiting your branch. They are not having, they are not studying on the regular basis what's going on in the individual branches. So it's very hard to track a record. But yes, when you have an online system, when you have a everything have to be stored on a dematerialized format, it means you will be getting a very easy way to know what is going on in the branches. Accordingly, you can have an internal control on the branches. Branches will be also in a fear, like if something we have done wrong, it will be immediately be identified by the head office or the regional office. So it's very obvious. When you have a manager on you, let's say when you have a higher authority on you who is looking towards your transactions or your activities, you will have that fear. And that creates a less chances of the fraud and default. And that's how the computerization, that's the other way how computerization helping us out. Now we have a standalone computerization computer system, and we have a multi-user system. So what is a standalone? The name suggests itself. In this particular type of computer system, the system will be used by one person at a time. That's a standalone computer system. At a time, the one person is using the computer. That's a standalone. If we talk about the multi-user, just as the name suggests, it will be accessed by several people at the same time. That's the multi-user. You can see in the images as well. This is the standalone. One person can use at the time. Hana? So a standalone refers to a computer or a device that is not connected to a network. One person can use at the time. You can see here, multiple users are using it. We have a multiple user. That's a multi-user system. Okay, so what it is saying? During the initial stages of computerization, banks deployed standalone computer system, and they are the system in which is used by one person at a time. In this system, the system is involved in processing and analysis of data. We are best suited for the decision-making process. The managers and executives who were responsible for making managerial decisions used to benefit from such system. Hana, all the managers and executives who were responsible for making the managerial decision, they have to have a benefit from the such system, because they used to have a system in which they will be able to store each and every detail about their transaction, about the activity that have been seen. And accordingly, after seeing all the sales report, all the deposit reports, all the interest reports, all the loan reports, they can easily take the decision, because everything is available for them in a computer. While a standalone system cannot be used in a multi-user environment, they can be easily connected to the existing multi-user system to access corporate database and other shared information and resources. So normally in such cases, a standalone system is called a workstation or a node. If you connect them, so what we are saying, a standalone system, they cannot be used by multiple users. It can be used by a single user at a time. But if you want to have a multiple user environment, they have to be connected with what? The multi-user system. If you want to access the corporate database, or if you want to share certain information, you want to share certain resources with the other person also. So you can connect the existing multi-user system to the standalone. In that situation, it used to be known as, or it is known as, the workstation or a node. Now, in the multi-user system computer, it can be accessed by several people at the same time. The microcomputer, the mini computer, the mainframe computer, the supercomputer, they fall under this category. Multi-user networking, computer networking. So what is this? In this multi-user computer networking system, a central computer or server that is capable of processing information that allows multiple users through various terminals to connect to through a network. So all information is kept and processed in the central server. So you have a central server. With the central server, all the other users will be connected. And when they will be connected, the information can be shared. Okay. So the central computer can store huge amount of information and processes a high processing speed, because it was connected to all other. All other are connected to it. Enabling a large number of users to be connected to the main central computer. So this system work on a time sharing basis and well suited for what? For developing online applications. Clear? So these two types of user systems or the computer system was introduced. Okay. After that, we will be discussing about the database management system. What is Unix, what is Linux, that used to be there. Still they are working, but a very less organizations are using that. But yes, we will be discussing about that in the next class. Okay, so let me know, is there any doubt? Let me know, is there any doubt in today's session? Whatever we have discussed, do you have any doubt in that session, topic? So do make sure the PDF, whatever I have written here, all that will be available in your PDF. So do make sure you revise the PDF before tomorrow's class. That will be from 8 to 9 p.m. So now those who are watching us on YouTube as well, tomorrow there will be no paid class on the YouTube, because this is the last demo of the on the YouTube. If you want to watch, if you want to continue with the batch, you have to enroll in the paid batches. To enroll, first download the Adda 24/7 application. Click on the JIB CIB section here. Go to the JIB May 2024. Click on the view all option. You will find all the batches here. Comprehensive batch is there. Individual subject batches are there. And the Mahapack is also there. What is the difference between these? I have told you in the orientation class already. So how to enroll? Just click on the batch, whatever you want to enroll in. Do check the offerings, check the validity, click on the buy now option, use a code that is on your screen as well, Y496. Click on the apply. When you apply, you will get 80% discount here. But if you want to have a 1% additional discount, you have to use the coins which are available on the application. Okay, our classes will be from 8 to 9 p.m. for PPB, and AFM classes you guys are having in the morning as well. Niharika ma'am is already taking that. And from 8th of December, I will be starting IEIFS as well. Okay, so this is all. So do make sure you revise it. The timetable will be available on the application. Hana? On this application, it will be available by tomorrow morning. Here you will find the study plan. It is not uploaded yet. But yes, you will be finding here. Hana, in the study plan, you will find here, you will get the study plan will be available soon. Na? You will find here the link. And you can click on that and you will be able to check the study plan. Okay, sir? By tomorrow afternoon, I would say, it will be available for PPB. As well as for IEIFS. Both will be available here. Okay? Chalo, let's end the session here. See you all tomorrow at the same time, 8 to 9 p.m. Okay? And do revise the content so that we will be having a proper understanding for the remaining topic as well. Okay? Chali, take care all. Good night. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.